Hey everybody, it's Infinite Drift, and welcome back to the Survival Let's Play series. In the last episode, we went searching for iron and other resources, and with that we discovered a giant mine shaft underneath this mountain. After we did some exploring, we got the basic structure of our house built, and is honestly looking great. In today's episode, we're going to focus on decorating the interior, and after that, I think I would like to try and hunt for some diamonds, because we're definitely going to need them in order to progress. So with that, let's just get right into it. Alright, let's just take a tally quickly of everything that we have in terms of resources. We have enough stone and cobble. I think we're good with that for the interior. However, I think we're kind of lacking spruce, so I might need to start chopping down some trees. We also have enough leather to make some books, but I think we're gonna have to look after the animals and stuff soon, maybe after we're done chopping, because I use a lot of bookshelves and item frames and stuff like that, and it requires a lot of leather. So let's begin by going over here and chopping down some spruce. We're gonna need quite a bit of it just because I use a lot of things like spruce trapdoors and stuff, and it's pretty resource heavy. We might as well grab a couple of stacks so we're not running back and forth. So while we're decorating the house today, I'm going to try my best to go through everything step by step with you all. I get a lot of comments asking for tips or a tutorial video on how to do the interior, which honestly it makes me so happy that you all like my designs that much, so I'm going to do my best to try to explain my thought process. A lot of it for me is kind of trial and error in some ways, but I think I do have some basic methods that I can kind of explain to you all. I'm very excited to try and show you my thought process. I don't think we'll need as much wood as we did in the beginning when we were doing the actual base of the house, but we'll still need at least 3 stacks, I would say. 3. I'm saying 3, so let's go with like 4, because remember last time I completely underestimated it. And it all adds up as soon as you start making a ton of signs and a ton of trap doors and all that stuff. It completely just takes up so much wood, it's ridiculous. So you might as well be prepared. And yeah, later on in the episode, I definitely want to go back down into the cave and start looking for diamonds, just because it's something you obviously need in order to progress in the game. I'd love to start getting diamond tools and diamond armor, but most importantly, I definitely want to get an enchanting table set up soon as well. How are all my animals doing here? You good? That's good. It looks like we don't have chickens right now, but I swear we do. I just don't think that they're rendering properly, or they all escaped. I don't know. We'll have to find out when we go see them. That would be really unfortunate if they all escaped. I think I'm gonna keep going until my axe breaks. That seems pretty reasonable. Okay, axe broke. We have about 3 stacks. I think that should be good because we have another one down there as well. Alright, yeah, so we have about 3 stacks in total, plus a couple more. That should be enough. So I'm going to organize my inventory real quickly, get everything gathered for what I need, and we'll start decorating the interior. Actually, before we do any of that, let me just grab these seeds and this wheat real quick, and let's go tend to the animals. I'm going to need a lot of leather for this, so we're definitely going to have to get some cows. And we're also going to have to get this sugar cane because we're going to have to make a ton of books and paper and all that stuff. So let's gather all this real quickly. We'll replant some of it because I don't think we'll need all of it right away. We'll let more grow. Bookshelves and all that stuff require a ton of paper. I hear a zombie. I don't know where it is though. I think it's somewhere underground, but it scares me every time I'm in this area. Okay, let's replant some stuff right here. We'll have a giant farm ready to go. And future us will thank us later for that. I brought my bed with me, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to lay down my bed real quick. I don't want to spawn any monsters because that would be less than ideal. Can't sleep yet, so let's feed these chickens. Hello, friends. How are you doing? Let's put some torches around this area as well, just in case. I need to torch this whole area up. I keep forgetting to, and it's just like asking for mobs to spawn. Let's feed our cows and sheep real quick. Hello, friends. Here you go. Enjoy. Alright, I better go to sleep. Don't want to regret it. Excellent. So, we're gonna have to gather some leather. I'm sorry, friends. We're gonna need as much leather as we can for this, because item frames and bookshelves as well just take up so much. We've got 5 so far, and I think we have 7 in the chest, so this should be okay, I think. In the next episode, I really want to get a nice barn and chicken coop going, just because this looks less than ideal, to be honest. And I feel so bad. They're all cramped in this space, and it's kind of hard to deal with the animals when they're in such a small space like that. I just want to give them a nice little space to live in as well, right? All right, I think we have more than enough materials to start decorating the interior, so we're going to start making paper really quickly. Let's make some books. How many do we need? I'm going to need a lot of bookshelves, so maybe 1, 2, 3. Let's start with 2 for now. We have 8 leather, so I can make a bunch of item frames as well. We'll start making a couple of those. I don't know how many I should make, though. Probably 5 or 6. We can always go back to the cows later. Actually, because we only have 2 leather left, let's just make some more item frames. So with the book, what we're gonna do is... Do I have any oak on me? Unfortunately, I don't. I don't like... I'm gonna go grab some oak wood real quickly, just because I want to use the spruce wood for as many spruce related things as possible. I don't want to waste it, so I'm just going to use oak, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm wasting my time here, but I like to use oak on things where it doesn't really matter, like sticks and bookshelves, where you're not going to see the color of it or anything. Because I feel like if I just use the spruce for everything, we're just going to have to go back and collect a ton, and it's just going to be kind of annoying, so... And since we're here chopping up wood, what I'm going to do also is gather a bunch of leaves. We're going to need them. And I'm going to have to go back and gather some spruce leaves as well. I forgot to do that, but that should be easy. I use a lot of leaves in my build. They just make everything look nice. Like, there's no other reason. It just adds that nice pop of detail. If you have, like, the Jerm's Better leaves add-on, it looks incredible. It just adds to the space, you know? And eventually I'm going to have to find some really pretty flowers to place into pots and all that stuff, but we'll find some of that stuff later. So let me grab some leaves real quickly here. Probably grab more spruce than we did oak, just because I find I use it more. That should be more than enough leaves. So we've got basically everything ready now, after that quick detour that I did. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of oak planks, so we can start using this for things like bookshelves and chests. Things where you won't see the actual oak. We can make at least 2 bookshelves for now. Let's do that. We'll do 4 chests. And let's get a bunch of barrels. I don't even know how many, because I use so many that we might as well just make, I don't even know, 8. Why not? We're probably going to use more than that, honestly. But this seems like a good start. I'm going to bring the crafting table inside with me, just so everything's there ready to go. And maybe also the bed. So if it's nighttime, we can go to sleep. I'll put it upstairs because I know that's where my bedroom's going to be. And let's just stick the crafting table somewhere down here. I don't know what this is doing here. Let's fill this in real quick. Okay, let's just place the crafting table like right here for now, just so it's kind of out of the way. And what I'm going to start with is I'm going to make some cross beams along here just to kind of add a little bit more definition, because I don't like the ends of these blocks of wood sticking out like this. So I'd kind of like to frame up what I'm going to call probably like the kitchen area. So if we do this, adding like a nice little beam just gives a little bit more definition. I was considering filling this in with wood, but I think what I'm going to do is like place planters or something like that there. We're going to do a cross beam across here just to fill in this spot. Like I said, I kind of wanted it to be like a kitchen sort of deal with a ton of storage, all of the smokers, the blast furnaces and stuff. This is where most of that will be. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by filling in the bottom part here with stuff, and then I'll kind of work my way up. I'm going to need a lot of spruce planks. We're going to be using that for shelving. We're going to be using that for counter space. Same with spruce stairs. Those are also really good for counters. And we've got our barrels ready. We'll leave the bookshelves aside for now because I don't think I'll use them in the kitchen area. I think also what I'm going to craft while we're doing this is stuff like cartography tables and smithing tables. I don't really use them, but aesthetically they look good. So I'd like to have some kind of like placed in the build just to break up all of the wood that we're going to be using, all of the furnaces. I'm going to have to craft a bunch of furnaces because I'm going to need them for different types of furnaces as well. And while I'm at it, it's probably good to have one here so I can start making some smooth stone. We're going to need that for a couple of things like the blast furnace and I think maybe also the stone cutter. Don't really remember. We're also going to make a smoker that is, I think, just spruce logs. Yeah, that should work. Let's take one of our chests and put it here just so we can put away some of the stuff that we don't necessarily need right now. All right, let's make a blast furnace. And while we're here, let's make some lanterns as well. Perfect. And I think we have all of the pieces to be able to start. So like I said before, I kind of start with the foundation of like building out all the counter space and stuff like that. But with builds like this, you have so much height, so use it to your advantage. Kind of my strategy for building interiors is I like to just place things up really high and like kind of scattered. I find it gives a really cozy look. You can see I use a lot of leaves, a lot of item frames, just to kind of give character to everything. So I'll build the base of this first to show you what I mean, how using the height and using shelves and stuff like that really adds a lot of detail and a lot more like warmth to the build. Let's start with counter space. I like to use just like a mix of different types of spruce slabs and stuff like that. I use the stairs, I use the slabs, I use the blocks, and I mix them interchangeably with like furnaces and stuff like that, just to give it like a cute little mishy-mashy vibe. So maybe what we can do is like in the middle here, place like a stair. And then we can get a furnace down. And maybe right here, what I will do is I'll place down a plank, just because this is going to be covered by this. You're not going to see it anyway. Usually I put crafting tables in the corner because I don't really like the look of crafting tables. I find them to be kind of ugly in some ways. So I usually hide them. I'll probably hide mine in this corner. To break up all of this, I'll use something like a furnace after. Or a blast furnace, because we already have a furnace here. You want to kind of make things look a little bit different just to add interest. So as you can see, we already have like tons of counter space that we can put like stone cutters and pots and all that stuff on here to fill the space. And we've already like got like a little base right here that you can start playing around with. One more thing that I'm gonna build. Do I have any more iron left? Oh my god, did I use it all? Alright, remind me. I'm gonna have to make a cauldron, because I think they look really cool in kitchens. I've seen people be able to like, I think they use like tripwire or something and they turn it into a faucet. It looks really cool. I've never done that though. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a couple of compost bins as well. Compost bins make really cool planters. So if you place them here and then literally just place like leaves on top, look, cute little planters. Isn't that nice? Very fancy. For the other side here, we're going to do the same thing, except kind of mix it up a little bit. Oh man, a cauldron would look really cool here. I'm going to place this here to remind myself, put a cauldron there. You know what I'll do? To remind myself to place the cauldron here is place cauldron here, please. I think it would look cool. It would mix it up. You get like nice little bit of water there and stuff like that. And in the corner here, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our sweet crafting table. And we're going to place it right here in the corner. Like, I don't mind the top of it so much. I don't know. It just looks like kind of busy. And like, it's made out of oak. Like, it just doesn't look that great in terms of like, it doesn't match the rest of my build. Okay, so on this side, what I think I'm going to do is we have like a lot of furnaces and stuff going on here. I think I'm going to kind of stay away from using that on the bottom part here. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a copy of this. What I like to do is I like to make like little tables. So you can make like a little fancy countertop out of the spruce staircase like this. I just like this little shape. It's really simple, but I find that it just like adds a little bit of shape to the mix. What I'm kind of missing here actually is I feel like a big chest on the floor would look pretty good. And maybe on this side we can do another planter or something like that. Do whatever. Yeah, I kind of like the symmetry here. I might end up actually changing this to a barrel or something. The symmetry looks pretty cool though, so I might leave it. And you can see kind of like how this beam frames this, and then like you have the symmetry of these two. They're kind of just like framing this whole area already, which looks really nice. And this will give us like nice bit of room for, I don't know, like an armor stand or something like that. So when you enter, you can see like it, so far it looks pretty good, but what we're missing is everything on the height here. This is where you got to use all of this to your advantage and just start filling it with stuff. It just allows for more storage, more furnaces to be placed. So I have like this whole area right here. What I think I'd like to do is actually maybe do like a whole row of barrels here, because it would provide a lot of storage. Whoops. And it would also look pretty cool. I like the look of the bottoms of the barrels. They just have like a really nice like texture to them. Maybe for the sides here, what I'll do is I will do here, perfect, spruce wood. So we can do this, and if we strip it, we can leave it like that, which would look really cool. I think this is just like a structural part, so maybe for now I'll fill it in like this on both sides. There we go. Can always change it if I need to, but I think that looks pretty good. So one thing that I'm also missing from this mix is I need a bunch of trap doors. Those are really good details that we can add for like shelving, but also just like details on the edges of things to like add a little bit more interest here. Since this is like a whole block, you can just add trapdoors like this, and it gives it a little bit more definition, and maybe even some right here as well. I think that looks pretty good. What we can do, I heard skeletons. Oh no. Okay. Oh, no. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen. Please stay away. It's one thing, oh gosh, it's one thing to go into a cave and see a bunch of monsters, but for them to be at your doorstep, I don't know, that's like really freaky. Maybe what I'll do underneath this, now I can start placing things like lanterns, maybe pop one right here. It's a perfect place to hang it. And now what I can do is I can start placing some of this stuff. Actually, you know what I forgot to even use? Things like the smithing table and stuff like that. And I think that would add a lot more detail to this area. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put, I think, the smithing table right here. So that's like a cool little bit of color. You can't see it that much, but it looks pretty neat. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. See, a lot of this is just honestly trial and error. You can see I'm already like, I don't like this. No. I think I'm gonna throw the smithing table right here so we don't have a bunch of furnaces on the floor. So we got this guy here. Let's put the plank back because you can't really see it that much anyway. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. So I've got this side kind of figured out. What I'm gonna do is, since this is like the main focal point of the room right when you walk in, I think I'm gonna put a smoker that kind of attaches to here. And usually what I do is I make like a little chimney out of cobble just to kind of attach it there, like so. You can't really have things on either side of it, otherwise it attaches to it like this and it looks kind of awkward, so I kind of avoid doing that. I'll usually just like place leaves or something. And usually what I do with things on the walls is I use trapdoors as shelves, just so it kind of looks like they're sitting on top of something rather than floating there. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is if you're doing that, like let's say I have a chest here and a shelf here, you can't place anything right here. But I find that it kind of just makes things look better rather than like this. It's kind of just floating in midair and it looks kind of awkward. So I always try to add things like this as long as it's reasonable. Actually, I kind of like this chest here, so I'll leave it here for now. So maybe what I'll do next is I will add shelving kind of going this way, just so we can add some pots, some lights and stuff like that. But usually when you have shelving going like this and it stops abruptly, it kind of looks a little bit awkward. So what I like to do is I like to either fill in with leaves, or maybe even you can put a furnace there to kind of like stop the flow of it and make it look more cohesive. The leaves kind of look a little bit awkward, so maybe I can try even a blast furnace, but let's see what it looks like with the furnace. Yeah, I think something like that looks really good. That's neat. And then you can have like flower pots and lights and stuff in here. Let's see what that looks like quickly with a lantern. Yeah, that looks good. And if you want, you can also add a trap door to the end of it to really kind of like complete the flow, but I think it looks a little bit awkward with this little piece. And another problem with doing that is it's hard to place things beside them because this takes up a block technically. If you're okay with it taking up a block, that's fine, but you just have to keep that in mind. You can't place anything within this block because the trapdoor's there. I don't think I really need it, so I'm not going to add it. It looks a little bit clunky. I think that looks fine. So yeah, I think this side is mostly done. What I'm going to do is I feel like I'm going to fill this wall with some item frames and picture frames and stuff like that. So we'll leave this blank for now and we'll move on to this side. I think I'm going to kind of mimic this on this side just to keep that a little bit cohesive. So we'll strip this wood, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to place the trapdoors up here again. That'll provide us with a lot of storage too. I don't know if I'm going to do a lantern on this side because we already have one on this side. I don't want it to be like too symmetrical in some ways. I still want it to look like a little bit random. I think what I'm going to do though is I will place like a little spruce plant under here just to add a little bit of color on this side. And then what I could do is maybe I could try a shelf along here. And we can add a little lantern on this side because we do need some light here. That looks pretty cute. Okay, we're gonna make a grindstone real quick. That's something that's really cool to place on this stuff. And I'm gonna go grab my stone cutter as well. It's about time that we need it, I think. I keep forgetting that I have these actually. We're gonna need these to make more blast furnaces and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna try using a little bit of like a chunkier block right here. Maybe I can put a chest here. Then you got the room to open it. But see, it looks like a little bit awkward. It's just like a little bit too chunky here. And there's not enough space in between. It doesn't look very natural. So what I can try is maybe do like a little shelf here. See, placement can kind of be a little bit hard sometimes, just to find like the right balance for things. So maybe what I'll do is I'll add a shelf here, and I can kind of go up here really quickly. I want to see how the stone cutter looks here. It's not terrible. I mean, it's like kind of cutting into this, but it's not the worst. I don't mind it though. What if I brought this piece back as well, and then I can throw something here, and then on the table here to give it a little bit more height, you add a little grindstone. See, that looks pretty good. The only thing it seems like we're missing here is maybe another furnace of some sort. Oh, the cauldron's gonna go there. But we have a little bit of a gap here that looks a little bit awkward. I'd like it filled with something else maybe. However, we can always do item frames. The cauldron might make it look a little bit different. I think it just looks awkward because there's so much wood there right now. But I'm gonna have to get more iron in a bit to fix that up. So this is pretty much like the base of it. It looks pretty good, I would say. I like it. I think I just need to add some of the details like the item frames, picture frames, pots, and all that stuff just to give it a little bit more character. But you can kind of see what I do where I try my best to put things on different levels, some things higher up, some things lower, do different types of countertops as long as they kind of make sense with each other. And yeah, I think it ends up making like a really cozy little space. It looks really good. So for this area, I kind of want to do the same thing. I want this to be a little bit of a study, so a lot of bookshelves, some extra storage, lots of item frames that'll have like books and all those cute cozy things being displayed. I might need to go resource gathering sooner than I thought, but you kind of get an idea of what I'm going for here, and if you just apply it to more of like a study area, it'll be pretty much the same thing, just in theme with this. I mean, like, you can even start off with placing things like 2 bookshelves here, and we can, like, throw down a lantern. I don't have that right now. So I think we're gonna have to do some resource gathering and then come back and finish this. I'm going into mega detail with this. I hope you're all okay with that. I think we're gonna have to go exploring sooner than I thought, to be honest, which isn't really a bad thing, because I like exploring as well, and I hope you do too. I'm gonna put a bunch of this stuff away, and then I think we'll go down into the mine real quick and start gathering some stuff. Okay, all of my armor seems to be in check. We've got a bunch of wood. We have sticks in case we need them. We've got a pickaxe. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a furnace down as well, because I'm gonna have to start smelting stuff right away. I do not have nearly enough iron. I should have grabbed more in the last episode, but that's okay. It gives us an excuse to adventure down there for a bit, just hang out. But yeah, I hope that the advice that I'm giving so far, it actually makes sense and that it's good advice, and hopefully you all can use it in your builds. My biggest suggestion with doing this type of stuff is trial and error. You never know if something looks good until you try, and if it looks great, that's awesome, but if it doesn't, you just try something else, and that's the beauty of it. You just kind of keep going and you'll find what you like, and the best thing to do in this game, honestly, is just experiment and practice. That's kind of how I learned. But yeah, that's the best way to learn for anything, is just to practice a bunch, and you'll kind of slowly figure out what style you like and how to achieve it, and it'll just eventually you'll be able to do it naturally, I find. Before, I definitely struggled. Like, I wanted my things to look a certain way, but I didn't really know how to get them to look like that, and it honestly just took a ton of practice, and eventually I got there, and it's really nice, and I hope that I can help you all with that now. Kind of like discover your style and discover what you like and how to build. Once we get to like a little bit more of an established location, I'll start burning some iron and stuff like that. Oh, I thought that was a skeleton. Oh, it's an axolotl! I see you. Yeah, that's right. Walk away. Oh, I forgot the bucket. I forgot the water bucket. Get out of here. Leave me alone. I forgot I have my bow on me, though. Maybe I can fight back. Stay away from me. Sniped. Heck yeah. I need to remember to eat, otherwise I am probably not gonna live. I won't live to see another day, so let's keep the food close by. I hear you. Oh, there you are. Nice try. I got you first. Oh. And maybe one more hit? Come on. Yeah. Look at that. I'm turning into a pro. Proud of myself. I can also take these chains, which is good, because I use these a lot in my builds. And those require a lot of iron to make. Okay, my pickaxe might break soon, so I think right here I'm gonna set up like a little area where we can just start smelting stuff. Let's get a little crafting table going. We'll get some furnaces. Oh wait, we already have one because I'm smart and I brought one. Haha, look at that. I forget pretty much everything in this game always, but at least I remembered that. I'm still kind of hoping that we can go find some diamond as well. I might have to dig a little bit deeper for that. I don't even know if today is the right day, because we ended up needing a lot more resources than I realized as well. So I'm kind of like, maybe I should just grab what I need here and then head back up and we'll just keep chilling and doing the main build of the house. As you can tell with my long plays, I like to keep everything just kind of chill, you know? And like kind of go at my own pace, and if we get to something in an episode, that's great. If we don't, then that's fine too. There's no rush, because everybody plays at their own pace, and that's fine. That's kind of what I like about this game, though, is there's like 1,000 different ways to play it. Somebody might have a completely different play style than you, or a building style, everything. Like, it's just kind of nice to have a game that everybody loves for so many different reasons. It's really interesting, and I think that's what I really like about it, is that there's something for everybody here. I saw a Minecraft video the other day where somebody said if you see lapis, then there's a high chance of diamond. And I actually didn't know that, or if that's like with the new update. I'm not too sure, but in the last episode we did find lapis hanging around, and I'm wondering if I should go back down to that spot and see if I can find diamonds quickly. I forget where I saw that video from. I forget who it was, but that's what everyone do be saying. Oh! Maybe I can get it with the bow. Hi. Sorry. Felt kind of bad because that was like too easy, you know? Oh! Oh, no, 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 no. I thought I saw you. What are you doing? Get out of here. Oh, shoot. Where'd it go? Thanks to everybody in the comments, I know how to cancel the bow. Look. Boom. Honestly. Did it fall down a pit? Oh, there's another one. Where are you coming from? But yeah, no, seriously, thank you everybody in the comments for teaching me how to do that, because it was really bothering me. This little, like, death trap right here is scaring me. Where are you coming? Oh, come here. No. Oh, I think I ran out of arrows. I need light. There we go. I hear more. Let's just light up this area. Make it extra safe. I see your little feet scuttling along. This is so scary. Go away. Go away. Oh my god, where are they coming from? There's so many. I'm like, is there a spawner or something? Get out of here. I think I'm getting close to as much iron as I need. I see that skeleton over there. I hope he doesn't notice me. I don't want to deal with it right now. Does anybody else get like overwhelmed with the cave system sometimes, where there's so many avenues to explore you just don't know where to begin? I mean it in like a good way, because I'm like, there's so much to do, but at the same time, ooh, what's this? See, I get distracted. I go down one way. Oh, sweet. Golden apple. See, you hear me. I keep getting distracted with stuff, but there's so much to do. I see you. There's two of you. I'm just gonna dip, because I think we've got mostly everything we need. So maybe I'll just grab all the iron I can see, and I want to go try the lapis thing real quick, and then we'll head back and keep working on the house. I think the lapis was like literally right here or something. If I like hit diamond, that'll be the funniest thing in the world, because I'm just going based off of a guess. So, ooh, there's emerald at least. Oh no, not these. Go, leave. I forgot, those mostly spawn in, what? Yeah, buddy, it worked. Oh, whoever gave that tip about the lapis, yo, what? Yeah. Hey, that's awesome. Oh, no, not these guys. They're the worst. I'm pretty sure they only spawn in, like, mountain areas, though, right? Oh, yes. This is awesome. How far does it go down? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, look at that. First diamonds. And that was a fluke. That was luck. Well, apparently that trick works, where it's something like if you go like a couple blocks down and away or up and away from lapis, there's usually diamonds. And I don't know if that's like with the new update or if it's always been that way, because I never used to use that method. I would just go down to like Y11 and mine, but that's pretty cool. What a treat. So I think after I grab this stuff, I'm pretty much ready to head back up. I've got 41 iron, diamonds, some emerald, lots of coal, so we should be good to go. As long as I can navigate my way out of here, I'm fine. It was a pretty quick trip down here, but it was definitely a success, and I'm really happy I did that. I'm gonna have to eventually start getting all of this deep slate as well. I love the way deep slate looks, so I want to start using it for some of my builds, for sure. Same thing with copper. I know I said in the first video that you all need to hold me accountable to use the copper, and you still do, because I haven't thought of anything I want to do with it yet. I'm thinking I'll use it in a garden or something, but I have not come up with a concrete plan for it. And also in the first episode, I know I said something about copper tools. I'm completely wrong about that. There's no such thing as copper tools, as you all pointed out. I don't know where I got that idea from. I don't know where I thought I saw that, because I looked it up after. I was like, I swear, like, copper tools are a thing. What is everybody talking about? No, they're not. They're not a thing. I have no idea where I came up with this concept. And I was talking about it like it was such a finite thing. I was like, yeah, so like copper tools and their durability, like, oh yeah, I don't know about that. They don't exist. What was I saying? So thank you all for calling me out on that, because I was like, swear I thought they were a thing. I know nothing about this game, and that's fine. I think it's really funny. Okay, if I can only find my way out of here now. This is a living nightmare. Oh boy. Is it nighttime or is it daytime? We made it back alive with all of our stuff. Let me just set down my bed, and we'll start putting stuff into the fancy storage bins that we have. Except I don't know how I'm going to organize this yet, because I want to keep like diamonds and stuff in like a certain spot, but we'll keep all of like the fancy things here for now. Maybe I'll put some like mine stuff in here. I don't know. I'm really going to have to think about how I want to organize it. What I'm going to do now is I think we can finally use our fancy blast furnace, which is pretty cool. So why don't we get this raw iron going in here? We're going to need it for our build. Yo, that noise is so satisfying. I love it. It's so nice. I think we can kind of start this reading area now. Right away, we're just going to pop one here just for some extra light. Let's get rid of this guy. I think maybe what we can do, I can always add it back in later. I'm going to pop out a window here, because we don't have enough windows downstairs. I don't want this because I wanted this wall to be kind of covered, and then the only space I have left for a window is here, but it wouldn't be matching with this, and it would drive me absolutely nuts. So I think like a cute little side window that we can build around right here would be nice. I said this before, I think in my last episode, I was going to fill this in with barrels. I was going to put like upside down stairs, but I think this just provides more storage and it looks really cool. Then after, what we can do, we can just start filling in like we did the counter spaces along here. So maybe right under here, just some leaves, just to get a little bit of color going. Bookshelf, right underneath the window. For some reason, I like to do like slabs. I think it just looks good, like kind of hanging there instead of the staircase. I actually think it would be beneficial to have like another crafting table in the middle, just so we're not constantly running back and forth between here and there. As long as it's hidden, I'm fine with it. And then what I think I want to do is the same thing as last time, is do like the connecting staircases on either side. Let's just get a barrel down just so I can place it just like this. I actually kind of like that barrel there. I think I'm gonna leave that actually. And then we'll just do a staircase going this way. From here, what I'm thinking is I have one more bookshelf. I'm like, how should I use it? I think I'll add it here. So yeah, you can already kind of see it coming together. The whole idea of this area is that it's a reading nook, so we're not really going to add any like furnaces or anything industrial looking per se. Eventually, I would love to have something like a brewing table here. Lots of item frames with things like a compass, just things within the general theme. I like to keep everything kind of like thematic in each area. And yeah, from there, we'll just kind of start adding in a couple things here and there. But yeah, it's all about just like filling it in with whatever you see fit in terms of the theme. If it works, try it out, and if it doesn't, just get rid of it. Maybe what I can do here is I can do, instead of the trap doors, I can actually do like chunkier shelving. But yeah, I find that the chunkier shelving looks good here because it's way higher up. It just looks more awkward when it's like right here, because then there's such little space in between. So I just have this area left to fill in. I'm thinking, because I want it to be a little bit sporadic, we already have so much on this line, maybe get some stuff over here. I might end up having to do like a small spruce shelf, and I can throw a chest here. And you can see it kind of like throws, instead of doing a straight line all across, it just adds a little bit of randomness here, and I think it looks pretty good. Since we don't have anything underneath directly, I can add this as well. And then I can always fill in like extra leaves and stuff, but I'm thinking maybe what I want to do is item frames and picture frames. And yeah, we have lots of counter space to put stuff on top. Maybe what I can do here is even add an extra chest here, so we can start placing all of like our valuable items in these chests. So really what we're missing from the downstairs now is a bunch of flower pots, and we're missing some lanterns, item frames. We're definitely going to add carpeting to the area. I think it just like adds a lot and kind of breaks up the floor and stuff like that. I still have a lot to do here and probably upstairs, but I'm happy with what I've done so far. I think it looks really good. I forgot, I have the cartography table that we can also use as well. I don't know where I want it though, actually. Maybe here instead of the barrel? Yeah, that looks really cool. I like that. Very nice. I've never actually used it, but that's besides the point. I actually don't really know what you use it for. I guess it's for mapping. All right, so we'll place a lantern right up here. Just add more light to the area. Yeah, that looks really good. Got lots of brick for our flower pots. And start making these as well. So really I just place these kind of wherever I feel like, wherever I think is a good spot for them. Like maybe right here. Might just leave this because I might put an item frame there. And then you also have this, so you don't want... Actually, that's not too bad. And from there we can start filling in areas with item frames. I'd like to have like a whole row of stuff, so I'll do 2 item frames like this. And then I will also do a picture frame in the middle, and I think that'll kind of break it up nicely and make it look pretty cool. Let's get like... Ooh, yeah, that one looks good. And then the trick is finding cool stuff to fill the frames with. Usually I like to do things like the clock looks really nice. I don't think I have any gold right now though. Diamonds look good. The compass looks pretty neat. I can make one of those actually. I've got redstone. Just random little like trinkets I find. A golden apple would look cool. We can always take it out later if we need to eat it or something. So how about we do like a golden apple? And I feel like those 2 items kind of fit in with like the study aesthetic, exploration, you know? It all kind of fits together, which is nice. So maybe what I'll do actually is I'll put an item frame here and a flower pot here instead. Or maybe on the window. There we go. Maybe I'll just toss in some redstone for now. Once we get more like cool items, we can always change this stuff up. I really love the way that like certain flowers look, like Lily of the Valley and lily pads. Those all look really nice in item frames as well. But this is good for now. So let's just throw one here for now. Maybe on top right here. One can go over there as well, why not? We're gonna have to go on like a hunt for like a flower field or something, so we can find nicer stuff to put up. Because for now I think I just have like, I don't even know, daisies or something. See, the problem with this shelf you can kind of see is you can't put anything here, so anything low is gonna look kind of awkward. I'm gonna have to find something, I think. Oh, no, I remember what I was gonna put here now. The sign. Place cauldron here. Completely forgot about that. Bam! Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. I'm still undecided about this. Maybe if I get rid of this, let's just see what it would look like if I put leaves here instead. Just so we can kind of open this up and get maybe an item frame here, possibly, instead. Yeah, I like that better. I think that looks a lot cooler. There was no need to have that much shelving anyway. We'd never use it. And what we can do instead is just put this here. That looks really good. Yay. Same thing with this area. I think what we're going to do is... Ooh, didn't mean to do that, but I actually like it. Let's do something like that. Ooh, I could do like a little L shape like that and fill it with a bunch of food items. I don't know, maybe an emerald for now. You know, just random stuff. So let's try some wheat here. All right, maybe if I get this block here and get a little painting right here, put a little flower pot there, a little lantern here. If we need some light, it's coming together, I think. So I grabbed a couple things to fill the pots just so you can all see what it'll look like. So you put a little flower there maybe. I find that saplings actually look really good in the plant pots. I really like the way they look. We're just gonna have to find other types of flowers and stuff because right now this is all I have. Doesn't look too great when it's all the same thing, but you all get the point, I think. Oh yeah, and I also like feathers in item frames. I think those look really cool as well. Oh yeah, I grabbed the stone axe. Maybe we'll just put there for now. Last but not least, we need one more thing here. You know what? Why don't we just put a stake right there? If anybody has a suggestion for this item frame right here, let me know in the comments because I don't think that steak looks very good. It looks kind of lame. Oh well. But yeah, we can also fill in other areas with more item frames, but I think I'm gonna leave it for now. This area seems like it's missing just like maybe something, but I'm gonna have to think about it. But yeah, I just find that when you place things on different levels, it just adds like a lot more interest to the area. You can kind of see how when we started with the blank slate, we started from the bottom and then you just kind of work your way up, and instead of just having your eyes focus on this, you have your eyes going to many different parts of the house. And not only that, but they're all pretty functional too, because you can put things in here, you can use your stone cutter still, you can cook food in here. So yeah, it's nice looking and it's also functional, which is nice. For the bottom part, we're pretty much done, except right here, what I want to do is I like to frame the doorway with upside down stairs just to give this a little bit more character rather than just like a basic square shape. If I had space right here, too bad the staircase is right here, I'd add something else, like maybe a planter or something. But you can add like item frames along here. We can add some plants and stuff like that. I'm gonna add like an armor stand here, I think. I just need to move all of this stuff. Yeah, as I said before, I'd like to fill this area with carpet, except I just don't think white carpet is what I want. I think I'd like a dark gray or something like that, so I'll leave it for now. And you know what? I actually have 1, 2, 3, so space here. I might add a window here because it would line up with this one if you go outside. So having 2 windows here, it would look perfect. Yeah, I really like that, and it adds like a little bit more natural light to the area. I'll just fill that in with a pane real quick. So this is pretty much done, minus the carpet in this area. I think we're gonna head upstairs and we will work on the bedroom. So for the bedroom, we have tons of room to work with. It's gonna be really nice. I'm gonna leave the bed right here. You'll see why I'm leaving a gap here in a minute. But ideally what I'd like to do with the bed is kind of like block it into its own little space. So you have like a division in the room, and it will kind of have 2 functions. You'll have like the bedroom area, and then you'll have like a little brewing station or reading nook or whatever works here. We'll decide later. Ideally what I'd like is bookshelves here, but we don't have enough, so I'm just gonna put barrels right here. And this I was planning on, I think, having barrels anyway, so this should be fine. And to really block this in and make it into a bit of a wall, instead of having all barrels, you can divide it up with like leaves. I think that'll look really good. So now you can already see you have your bed area, and then you have a whole separate area that you can use here for whatever you want, right? And you see, if we already fill it in, it kind of like just becomes its own little space. Maybe what I'll do here is I'll add some leaves here. And what I like to do is I like to kind of make a bed frame with signs. I find it kind of just adds a little bit more detail to the bed, so it's not just like floating out of there. And it's like a little bit of a headboard space. Instead of this is going to be a bookshelf, but for now that looks really good. And the nice thing is you can always place like a nice little flower pot on here or a lamp. But I think I might have it hanging right here. And then what I can do is, ooh, I don't know about that. The annoying thing about picture frames is you kind of have to like block off the areas you don't want to be pictured. See, I'm gonna have to get rid of this guy too, because I want a rectangular one there. Okay, so now we can place it. It's kind of a pain, but that's okay. And then we can place back our lantern here. Put the flower pot back, and then you got like a little bed area. And then up here we can add like an item frame or something like that. So I would also really like to have bookshelves along here as well, but we don't have them yet. I'm just making some fences just to put like as a railing around the staircase upstairs, so you're not just like constantly falling off all the time. That looks pretty good. And what I was thinking along here, just to add like a little bit more texture, was trapdoors all along here. You can kind of see why you need so much spruce for some of these builds. Like, it's best just to collect as much as you can, just because a lot of the small details include spruce, so you end up like eating a big chunk of it away on stuff like that. But I find that just adds like a really nice little bit of detail. I'm even wondering, I'm like, would a crossbeam add to this? I think it's a bit much. Never know until you try though. Or even possibly what I could do instead of that, because it's way too chunky, is maybe some slabs across the top. I think I actually like that. It just adds like a little bit of a beam instead. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So yeah, there's tons of space to work with in here. I really like this area. I like the division right here. It creates kind of like 2 separate rooms without being separate rooms. It's really cool, and it just allows for more space, more storage, all of that good stuff. Like, my main materials that I use are like barrels, planks, leaves, signs, and like a couple of other things, but you can see even with those like basic materials how you can do things very differently in some ways. It all keeps like a main theme running through the house, but they all look kind of different in their own way, just as long as you keep everything everything kind of separate, where you have like a kitchen space with all of these tools, you have like a reading space with all of this, and then your bedroom is its own little thing as well. And then just adding little different accents wherever they see fit. Like even this little spot right here, I think if you close it off like that, it just kind of like finishes the edge of this countertop, so it looks more complete. And it's always worth trying something out. If you're not sure if it'll work, try it anyway, and you can always take it down and put whatever was there back. Because I'm like looking at this, I'm like, will this work? Thought it would for a second, but then the problem is you have this trapdoor kind of getting in the way of it. If these weren't here, it would look great, but I don't think that's exactly the solution we need. Or I could try turning it sideways. That actually looks a little bit better. I might actually keep that. Extra storage, and it also just adds a little bit more detail to these sides. I think I kind of like that. I'll have to do the same for the other side. Or what you can do is get rid of these ones and fill these with leaves, or do one or the other on either side, right? Just to break it up. Because I have leaves here, I don't want to just like completely do a wall of leaves. Maybe what I'll do here is I'll get rid of this barrel, put it right here, just add a little bit more detail, and then you have the leaves here. They're not exactly like one whole row, and then you can just put this one here just to break up the detail. And I actually think that looks really good. I just thought of that on the fly as well. You don't have to go into everything with a huge grand plan. A lot of it is just trial and error. I'm gonna have to mess around with this space a little bit more, but I really like how it's turned out so far. But yeah, the best thing you can do is just try things out, see if it works, and if it doesn't, you just try something else, and eventually you'll figure it out. That's my best tip, because I found that in the beginning I really struggled a lot, where I wanted things to look cozy, I just didn't know how to make them look cozy. But I think once you learn how to use specific items in certain ways and get creative with them, like a trapdoor is a trapdoor, but it also has a lot of uses. Like you can use it as siding for a counter, you can use it as detail for a ceiling, you can also use it as a shelf. So once you kind of learn how to use things in different ways, I think that's when like all of the doors open for you in terms of creativity. It's just a matter of trying them all out, honestly, and just having fun with it. You can see like a lot of this stuff we were figuring it out as we went along in this episode, and that's just what it's all about. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. Honestly, because I was really not good at this like even 6 months ago. It's not good at all. And now like I'd say I've gotten a lot better, and I'm learning more and more every day. So yeah, that is the fundamentals of building with Infinite Drift. We did not finish everything. I thought I would, but I just kept rambling for too long, I think. I don't know. It's okay, we got the base of this done, so I think that's pretty good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope this helped you all. I hope it wasn't just rambling. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out or how it's going to sound. I hope it's all cohesive and makes sense, and that I actually gave you all good tips rather than just being like, do this, it'll look good, I swear. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I think this is where we're gonna end. In the next episode, I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll go explore Badlands. We just have a little bit of things to do in here, not much. We're not gonna really use it as our main focus for the next episode. We can start more exploration. We can look for more diamonds. Maybe we can get some enchanting going. And maybe actually, I was thinking even do like a bit of a barn build or something for the animals, because that space is just like way too small and it's just kind of sad, you know? But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I hope that I helped you all learn something new with interior decorating today. A lot of you have been asking in the comments for tips and tricks, and I hope I gave you some good ones. Let me know what you all think in the comments, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!